Hi and welcome to my new video. And today on our video review we have the Casio Edifice EFR 568 or 568 watch. This watch is the quartz chronograph watch from Casio, and you probably heard about the watch, the Casio's Edifice watch line. Over here we have the standard chronograph watch with chronograph watch function. Well, what there is to say about this specific edifice? Well, the Casio makes these edifices watch line very beautiful. And on this watch we have the two special features. One actually is a pretty much standard for these edifice basic models, and that is the stopwatch function. And the other one, which is not so standard, is the rotating bezel. I would have to say that this rotating bezel is excellent, excellent quality, that's for sure. For this price range, I've had the opportunity to rotate the higher quality bezels or higher quality watches that have these rotating bezels, and I have to say that believe me that this bezel is excellent. The clicks are definitely there, so 60 clicks, and the it has the edges on the outer bezel, so you can easily rotate the bezel. It's the unidirectional, so you can measure the time of the let's call it dive time, but I'm pretty sure that you won't use it for the diving, although this watch is water resistant at 10 bars or 100 meters of water pressure. As I said previously, it's the quartz movement inside with the chronograph function. Also you have the date window over here. Inside is the lithium based ion battery that should last for approximately 2 years. So let me get you some shots of the watch. I'm gonna put in the dimensions of the watch on the video afterwards, and as you can see, the beautiful dial and the Casio makes, I have to say, one of the best watches that money can buy, or the value for the watch that you can get is buying a Casio's, not just Edifice line, but the G-Shocks and the other models of the watch. As you can see, the details are pristine condition. There's no splashing of the color on the hands, especially on the second hand, as we can see currently. So let's get through some of the watch's indicators. Over here you have these standard two chronograph pushers, but I would have to say that these pushers are I would say a bit smaller than the usual chronograph pushers. I had the opportunity to do a review of the World Time, so-called the World Time Edifice watch, and the pushers were exactly the same. I would say the somewhat smaller for the standard of the pushers today. On the crown over here you have the inscribed Edifice logo, and the Casio does it for almost every Edifice models, and I think it's a beautiful detail to see. So let's get on with the watch indicators. Obviously you have the minute and the hour hand over here. This is the second hand. Over there this is the stopwatch second hand. This is the day indicator. Over here is this subdial. Over here is the stopwatch 1/10 of a second dial, and this 1/10 of a second hand. Over here is the stopwatch minute hand. Obviously you have the crown and the two pushers in the watch itself. How to use the chronograph for the stopwatch on this watch? The stopwatch measures the elapsed time in 1/10 of a second increments up to 59 minutes and 59.9 seconds. How to measure the elapsed time? Well, first of all, you have to watch these three subdials that are on the watch. So how to measure the elapsed time? Press the start button, and that's the upper button, to start the stopwatch, and as you can see we are measuring 10th of a seconds visually, as well as the seconds up on the subdial at 6 o'clock. The same button to stop it, restart it, stop it, and lower button to reset the value. How to measure the split time: start, the upper button, split at the lower button, split release, stop, and reset the value. How to measure the two finishes: start on the upper button, lower button to split the value, first runner finishes, and the display time of the first runner. Press the upper button to stop, that's the second runner finishes, lower button to split release, display time of the second runner, and the same button again to reset the value. And those are the three modes of this stopwatch, or this stopwatch has to offer. Correcting the zero position of the hands. Now the position of these sub-dial hands, as I'm going to show you, can be off. So basically this hand, the watch thinks that it represents 0, but it's off clockwise or anti-clockwise, and that's same for all of these sub-dial small hands. Let's call them small hands. How to perform the operation of returning them to the exact value, and that's the 0 value or 12 o'clock. Pull the crown out to the second click, so pull the crown out at the most it can go, and press the upper button to move the stopwatch 1/10 of a second hand clockwise. And as you can see, I'm moving it clockwise, and holding it and pressing it will start the fast forward moving. But the procedure is pretty much basic, so you have to align it at 12 o'clock, and there it is. How to move the stopwatch second hand, and that's this hand over here. Well, that's done by pressing the lower button, and it will move the hand clockwise, and you have to align it properly. So let me get it to 12 o'clock. As I said previously, holding each of these buttons will increase the rotation of the hand, and it will rotate faster. The stopwatch minute hand is synchronized with the stopwatch second hand. After the settings are all the way you want, just push the crown back in, and you are good to go. Setting the time and date on this watch. Well, first of all, let's start off with setting the time on this watch. To set the time on this watch, it's plus thing for you to set the time when the second hand is aligned at the 12 o'clock. So then basically you can set the minute hand exactly at the minute marker, and you will be sure that the minute hand touches the minute marker exactly as the second hand is at 12 o'clock. So let's wait for the second hand to be at 12 o'clock, and when the second hand is at the 12 o'clock, you need to push out this crown to the second click. If the crown is screw locked down, first unscrew it, but in this watch it isn't. So when the second hand gets to 12 o'clock, I'm gonna pull the crown on the second click, and there it is. I pull it out to the max out, and the second hand has stopped. Now we set the time. It's 8 o'clock and 11 minutes. Eight o'clock, 11 minutes, and I'm gonna try to hit the marker, the minute marker over here exactly, and push the crown back in. And that's the basics of the setting the time on this watch. Now we get to the setting the date on this watch, and that is the date indicator over here. The basic procedure, this is like this. Pull the crown out to the first click, and that's it. The second hand hasn't stopped, and rotate the crown so you can set the date. And today is the 11th of March, and that's it. So I'm done. Once you are done with the settings, just push the crown back in, and basically those will be the settings of this watch. And with that, I'm gonna end this review. Thank you very much for watching this video review as well as the tutorial part of it. Please do leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more watch content. Thanks.